President Biden won't face charges for his possession of classified documents. Still, the special counsel report on the case includes an ongoing political headache for the president, his declining memory.
Well, the report revealed that President Biden had trouble remembering key events. In response, the president is fighting back. Brody Carter has the story.
The 345-page report released by the special counsel gave some possible defenses of Biden's actions and ultimately concluded no charges should be brought against him. However, its language described the 81-year-old's memory as hazy, fuzzy, faulty, and poor, and having significant limitations. In a hastily called press conference Thursday night, Biden strongly disputed those descriptions.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet.
The president also refuted any allegations of willfully retaining classified documents collected dating to his vice presidency. A federal crime, but one that would require a mental state of willingness. Biden pushed back against that as well.
Here's what he wrote. There is, in fact, a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related to Afghanistan. On page 12, the special counsel also wrote for another documents. The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward.
While choosing not to bring charges against the president, special counsel Robert Hur, who was appointed by former President Trump to serve as a U.S. District Attorney in Maryland in 2017, cited a shortage of evidence, but also considered that it could be difficult to get a jury to convict him because he would present himself as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. The report said that in Biden's interview with the special counsel, he could not remember key milestones like when he started and ended his time as vice president or when his son Beau died. Another charge Biden strongly denied, but then he forgot a key point about a rosary Beau gave him.
Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of...
Former President Trump blasted the decision not to prosecute Biden while he faces criminal charges himself on handling classified documents, saying Biden's case was 100 times more severe than his and that there's a two-tiered system of justice. Conservatives said the report showed what polls have also shown the public is also concerned about, that the president isn't mentally up to the job. And Republican lawmakers also spoke out, with House Speaker Mike Johnson and Steve Scalise, Elise Stefanik, and Tom Emmer issuing a joint statement, saying if the president is too incapable of being held accountable, he is certainly unfit for the Oval Office. Brody Carter, CBN News.
Well, for more on this story, CBN News chief political analyst David Brody is with us now from Washington. So, David, obviously Republicans are seizing on this. Do you think the Democrats are going? Is there any move among the Democrats to replace Biden on the ticket?
Well, I think right now it's more internal. There's a lot of concern inside the Democrat circles right now. Some that don't want to go on the record saying this is a nightmare scenario. This is exactly what we did not want, and they can't control it. Publicly, the Biden administration and his lawyers and others are going to pick apart the report and say, in essence, his memory is not what it's described in the report. So you're going to get two conflicting messages here. But I will just say that deep down, Democrats are clearly concerned, and this is a problem, Gordon. It's a major problem, and there's going to be a lot of ramifications coming from it in the months to come.
Well, it's not a new issue. I've heard for some time. I've even heard from leaders in Europe that they consider him to be impaired. So it's not new, but it obviously is now in the headlines because it's in a written report. So shouldn't they try to replace him?
Well, look, here's the thing. Democrats are having that discussion right now. But this is a DOJ report. It is a special counsel report. That's fine. They're supposed to have some autonomy from the DOJ. But the truth of the matter is this is, as you said, a written report by the DOJ. And so that gives it a lot more credibility, a lot more heft. Remember, David Axelrod, a big Obama supporter, big Democrat strategist, came out just a few months ago questioning Biden. So We started with a whisper campaign, then it became more out there with David Axelrod and other Democrats talking about it openly, and now we have the DOJ report. This is going in the wrong direction for Biden, not to mention the fact that just on the legality of it, this idea of a two-tiered system of justice, let's think about this for a second, Gordon, right? I mean, you have a DOJ special counsel that says to Trump, you willfully took classified documents and we want to put you in jail. This DOJ special counsel report says, Joe Biden, you willfully took classified documents as well, but we want to put you in memory care, in essence, rather than put you in jail. Look, this is exactly what Donald Trump has been talking about, and it's a political capitalization moment, clearly, for Republicans.
Well, let's talk about the substance of it. As a lawyer, reading through it, for me, the most compelling evidence is you have the audio tapes of what was then Vice President Biden talking to his ghostwriter. And so in that conversation, he quotes directly from classified documents and directly from documents classified about strategy in Afghanistan. So he's acknowledging verbally that he's reading from a classified document. He's doing so purposefully to add to his memoirs, so there's a profit motive here. It doesn't make any sense when you have that kind of evidence to say we're going to charge Trump, but we're not going to charge Biden.
Right, and then to compound the problem in the press conference, as if the DOJ report wasn't bad enough, Biden goes to the microphone last night, calls a national press conference at 8 p.m. and says that all that you just said about the ghostwriter, not true. He literally said not true. Well, that's in direct conflict with the DOJ report. He also went on in that press conference to say my memory is just fine. He got very angry, said my memory is just fine. Well, look, America's reaction to that is don't gaslight us. I mean, we see what we see, Gordon. And so, fundamentally in politics, when you disconnect from the electorate, you lose. And so, Joe Biden and his handlers can spin this any way they want. It doesn't matter. 76% of Americans think that Joe Biden has serious mental decline. And so if you have an electorate that feels a certain way and Joe Biden who thinks a totally different way, that's not good for 2024, his chances in 2024.
Well, let's go to the other side, and you've got Donald Trump saying Nikki Haley was in charge of Capitol Hill Police on January 6th, which was, it's one of those, She wasn't even in any kind of elected office or any office in the administration on that day, so it doesn't make any sense. Trump seems to be having memory issues too. So aren't voters going to be faced with a really strange decision? Which candidate with memory issues do we elect?
Well, that's the exact argument, obviously, the Democrats are trying to make, because in essence, they're kind of at the grasping at straws moment here. And what I mean by that simply is that, look, they're trying to do apples to apples with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. But let's be clear. I mean, Joe Biden has a long history of gaffes. This has been going on for a while, and it's gone from gaffes to serious mental decline. I mean, think about it. Just in the last 24 hours, as Brody had reported, there were a couple different things. One, he called the president of Egypt, in essence, the president of Mexico, number one, last night. He couldn't remember the rosary, the name of the church where he has the rosary regarding his son, Beau. And then a couple hours just before that, this is all in the last 24 hours, Gordon, Joe Biden saying this is a choice between, or he wants to be a president for both red and green states. Not red and blue states, red and green states. Look, this idea that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are on the same mental decline level is preposterous. And I think that Democrats have to do this because, once again, they're back to grasping at straws.
Well, it looks like you're going to have a very exciting year, David, and thanks for the insight, thanks for the analysis. But this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, and I shake my head. The voters in Nevada got it right, none of the above.